Hello everybody, welcome back to some StarCraft 2 action. We are surprisingly still at the HomeStory Cup 23, even though we just finished up the finals. I heard a couple little birdies tell me that I missed this series and that it was particularly goofy and fun. So I decided to go back for it after this. I will be moving on to the Gamers 8 Legends section. And after that, I think we'll go with real HomeStory Cup. Because all the Gamers 8 games are very finely documented on YouTube. And they're with better commentators, honestly. So you can just go watch those over there. But the real HomeStory Cup games are kind of lost right now because there are no VODs up on YouTube. So that's what we'll be doing for the foreseeable future. If you have any other suggestions like this game, please do let me know in the comments or in the Discord. It's also fine. So we have uThermal, great Dutch Terran, doing a Makarax, double gas with an orbital, second depot. So ShaDoWn is already kind of like, what the... Did he see it? He did not see it. And he is not about to see it. Factory in the main, and the Reaper is almost out. ShaDoWn still throwing down a Nexus. Nice Reaper wall in the main. And the Reaper is out. ShaDoWn is scouting around for anything funky on the map. And meanwhile, the Reaper is scouting for the probe in case the probe is looking for anything funky or doing something funky herself. Probe's female. One Stalker being chrono boosted out with a second one underway. Let's see what ShaDoWn elects to do with all of his gas in the near future. The other side we see a tech lab onto the factory with reactor to Reapers. So this is going to be Cyclone Reaper? It's kind of what it smells like. Yes, there's a Cyclone. And we see double Reaper underway. And we see... a command center out on the map. I've been watching his YouTube channel, so I'm pretty sure that this is going to end up being a proxy Planetary rush. Oh my. Playing it in tournament. The madman. Engineering bay goes down, so we're pretty... Oh my god, no. ShaDoWn knows there's no CC, so he knows something is up. I was expecting if these gates weren't already going down, they would be going down right away. Shield battery should go down soon. More units being chrono boosted out. He's actually pulling all of his drones before anything has happened. What a response. By the way, the map order's a little weird because Liquipedia didn't know. It said Gresvan Game 1 and Gresvan Game 3. And I looked at the recorded games, and some people started with Ancient Cistern game, which is the second game. And I don't know. I just started with Gresvan. So ShaDoWn trying to hold off this imminent doom. This PF. Trying to target the Cyclone. Second Cyclone comes in though. And a Phoenix. That is nice. If he gets a lift, that's really nice. Stops the lock-on from the Cyclones regardless if you kill them or not. And the PF does indeed start. SCVs try to hide. The one Reaper, last Reaper, does go down. Two more Reapers arrive, and now ShaDoWn making 3 shield batteries. One of the Cyclones did get repaired a little bit. Ooh, Reapers get targeted. SCVs get targeted. This looks like a pretty good hold from ShaDoWn until the goddamn Planetary Fortress finishes in his damn natural base. Cyclone's getting a lot of value here. Nice kiting from uThermal. Got the scan ready. And now he's making an SCV from this PF to make sure that he can repair it. Mule's dropped. Manor Mule? No, it's just for repairs, but it's kind of for manor as well. Nuclear battery overcharge has been used, so Protoss is probably going to defend this now because that shit is broken. Cyclone, pew pew. Oh, the PF does go down. No more SCVs were pulled. Well, they were pulled, but they're too late. And now uThermal's kind of an awkward position, but tried to make a CC and now thinks differently of it. Makes 3 barracks instead of that CC. ShaDoWn very comfortably on 2 bases and is making a fleet beacon. Is he gonna go for carriers? Maybe a Tempest? Or it could be a Mothership. It would actually not be bad because there's only 1 orbital worth of scans and there are no turrets on the map just yet. And there it is. It's a Mothership. How long does that baby... Well, I don't know. You have to build it for a long-ass time. This bar is not moving very fast, and this is with Chrono. We see +1 being researched. We see double tech lab and another reactor. So uThermal moving into straight bio, kind of maybe hoping that ShaDoWn attacks into him to finish the game, because he is not expanding at all. Just going for a secondary attack. Robo and a gateway proxy down here on the map. 5 gateways in total. 6 gateways in total on the map, making it a total of 9 gateways. There is a forge, but no upgrades just yet. And we see a war prism underway. Nope, it's a observer. We see 6 Marines at a time being pumped out with +1 and stim. That's gonna pack quite the punch. And I think that will be uThermal's final push. When this stim is about to finish, he should be moving across the map to try and get some damage done. The Mothership is indeed here. And it's moving across the map. Maybe he's going to use mass recall to get into his main base. That would be a meme. Phoenix flies on into the main base. Checks out the Terran base and sees, well, there ain't no natural. There's no natural. That's a little weird. I mean, it could be a proxy, but no. It's an all-in, and the boys are being pulled. Pulling the boys and F2ing all the way. uThermal's going to go out guns blazing or snatch a victory from the jaws of defeat. If you look at the army supply, it's pretty even. So if uThermal can get a good fight with his SCVs, he actually has a pretty darn strong army. ShaDoWn now shooting up an army supply, though, so every second counts. And ShaDoWn is cannon rushing uThermal's main, and now recalls all of his probes and his army into the main of uThermal. What the f***? And uThermal just killed the natural of ShaDoWn, while ShaDoWn is in his base killing all of his dudes and his buildings. So uThermal basically has nothing left. He has just enough money to make a CC. And ShaDoWn actually does not have any more mining as soon as his base dies. Their armory supply is pretty close as well. So somehow, maybe, another Nexus being built. And we do have a bunch of probes here, about 20 probes. So uThermal would have to start his CC ASAP if he wants to kind of try and re-expand and try and drag this game out longer. +1 is actually cancelled potentially forever. It's gonna go down. Here's the Mothership, and there is no detection. Those are fake Colossi. force fields to cut up the army that can't see anything. This is rather awkward for uThermal here. He can't see anything. GG. Completely cloaked army is pretty strong. And we're in game 2 where ShaDoWn is pulling 3 probes right away. These guys are playing some fun StarCraft. They're showing the other guy who has the best meme builds. Because I don't know what this is supposed to be. Is this some 3 probe harass? Is Katz watching? I feel like he's the only one that really did multiple worker harass to Terran in quote-unquote pro games. So 3 probes are now moving in to uThermal's base. And they were so early that the racks wasn't even started yet, or hadn't even started yet. So now 3 SCVs whom have more health total than the probes are chasing these 3 probes. Nice targeting by ShaDoWn, letting his shields regen a little and then targeting down that 1 SCV. Nothing really happened, and ShaDoWn tucks his tail. Nope. He wants a little more. You want to dance? Want to dance, daddy? Goes for another target on this SCV. Oh, loses a probe. First blood. Goes to uThermal. In the meanwhile, he already started double gas and a Rax. He's not even pretending he would like to make a command center at some point. Other side of the map, we see ShaDoWn also not inclined to throw down that Nexus just yet, but it is of course delayed because of those 3 probes being out on the map early. So it could go down any second now. And it is going to be thrown down, but it is going to be hidden. We've seen ShaDoWn hide quite a few Nexi on this channel, so good to see him continuing that trend. Hiding bases is pretty strong if you know how to mask it well. We see reactor underway, so this looks very similar to uThermal's build from the last game. If he throws down a tech lab right now, he could make another PF. Oh my god, he's in the base of ShaDoWn and he's gonna make a factory there. So he already has 1 factory at home making Hellions, and now he's making a second one in his base. That's pretty darn sneaky. Reaper moving around, doesn't want to tip off this Adept that there might be a building in his base. Nexus still hidden. And we see a Twilight Console coming out for ShaDoWn. Double Reaper again with Hellion this time. Kind of looking like a TV2 build, except for the fact that he's, you know, proxying a factory in his base. So let's see if it's going to be a Hellion. It's going to be a Widow Mine. And this SCV is... Oh, does the Stalker see it? He does not see it. What the... He doesn't see it. Stalker just hoping to catch a Reaper, but not hoping to catch a factory. Adept comes into the natural, sees that there's no CC. We do see an armory, so these are going to be cloaked Widow Mines. He's actually waiting with his Widow Mines until his armory is done. Reapers and Hellions patrolling the map to see if they can find anything. Hellion does get shot by this Adept. Still, he doesn't know. These Widow Mines are going to end the game right away because they are cloaked. If they run into the natural, or if the main of ShaDoWn and he doesn't have detection, I think he could just instantly leave this game. Because he can't mine here anymore. And what? Whoa! 10 probes go down to the double Widow Mine and the Hellion Reaper run by. 15 probes go down, and uThermal's just completely ignoring all of these Stalkers until, well, the Stalker was too annoying and had to be put down. Reapers are enough to kill everything ShaDoWn owns. And just like that, uThermal evens up the match. And with a cheeky collar swap, we head on into the third and final game of this series. Well, to the lucky few of you guys that recommended this series to me, thank you. Wow, what a... well, I wouldn't call it a banger. It's more of a garbage fire, but it's fun to watch nonetheless. You know, it's like... two people on the street fighting over something useless, like a bag or something. You're kind of like, oh, I hope nobody gets hurt, but I can't stop looking because I kind of want to know who wins, especially if it's two Karens. For now, this game is actually looking fairly standard. No proxy PFs just yet, no 3 probe harass, no motherships. And also, no hidden factories in somebody's main base. But if those first 2 games are anything to go by, we're gonna keep our eyes open. Because anything can happen this series. I don't know if this series even mattered anymore for this group. Because both players did not end up making it out. So maybe this game already didn't matter for either of them. So then they might end up joking around a little, which is definitely in the HomeStory Cup spirit. I hope they didn't receive any penalties. Especially because ShaDoWn was also part of the Best Match award with Showtime. So actually, together with this series, ShaDoWn has made our lives a lot better. Kudos to him. I hope we... I'll keep my eyes out for future ShaDoWn games. He deserves to be featured as much as possible, if this is the kind of series that he brings himself into, or injects himself into. Reaper, looking around the natural for some of that proby shenaniganery. Glad they're... oh my... of course, there's another CC in the middle of the map. And uThermal's kind of doing the same thing he did the first game. Double Reaper and Cyclones from the factory. Yep, there it is. And on the other side of the map, ShaDoWn is doing kind of a standard build almost. But the Robo in the front, I don't think is that standard. Maybe it is if he knows that there's no natural. And then he's just afraid of a bunch of Hellions. There is a probe though. Let's see what ShaDoWn knows. Nothing much yet. He also hasn't seen that CC in the middle. I was trying to get some scouting information. And I think as ShaDoWn you assume now that yes, there is no CC there. So unless it's a proxy base, which would have been a great mix-up by uThermal, just taking one of these gold bases. Oh, it looks rather small actually. I don't know if it's worth taking. And we're heading in once again with a CC, a Cyclone, bunch of Reapers, and some SCVs. This one Adept is trying to hold on. There's only one shield battery and 2 Stalkers. The first game he had like 3 or 4 shield batteries and a lot more Stalkers. So this is looking a little dicey for ShaDoWn. CC's about to land, making sure that the units of the Protoss can't hit the units of the Terran if the Terran doesn't want that. I don't know, they just walled each other in, I guess. I don't know who that favors. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 batteries. 4 batteries. And the nuclear battery option has been used. And here's a building destroying unit in the Immortal. So that's gonna be rather tough. First game, ShaDoWn managed to kill the PF even with only Stalkers. Didn't need an Immortal for that, but now he actually also has an Immortal. Robo does go down though, and the PF is actually here. There's 5 SCVs on it. What is this? This oh no, there's a DT. We missed the Dark Shrine that built in the back of the base. And now uThermal didn't build a turret and doesn't have a scan right now. He has one scan. It goes down right away. The turret does get killed, and now he needs to build a second one. Probably needs to wall this off, because if there's another DT, quickly build an engineering bay or something. He's going to hold position his units instead. Oh, it does work. He has to kind of offer up 1 or 2 Reapers, but now he does have that detection against these DTs. And the PF is alive, but this is a lot of Stalker Immortal. How many SCVs? We have 4 SCVs repairing. uThermal still has enough money. Needs to make sure he has enough money to repair this. Oh my god. That's a lot of units, though. If they can shoot down these pesky SCVs... Oh, and these units are just not dying. Shield batteries are good units. And the PF does go down. But this game, uThermal has a backup CC. And it wouldn't surprise me if we see a bunch of more barracks go down now. And actually kind of transition into a... I wouldn't say normal game, but normal-ish game state. See a turret going down in the front against these DTs, but these DTs soon won't care because DT Blink is on the way, baby. And we see ShaDoWn going for double gold base expand. ShaDoWn, my man, I think I'm starting to fall in love with you. What a Protoss player. I didn't know they were capable of such brilliancies, but this man is proving me different, and I will root for him evermore. This is wonderful to see. ShaDoWn, kind of ahead in workers, and with kind I mean a lot. We see 1 Dark Templar going to be dropped with this War Prism, so... uThermal once again kind of on the back foot after that Planetary Fortress rush did not work because, you know, shield batteries are pretty good. I think we need a small buff where PFs can fly. So then he can fly away from the stupid shield batteries and continue his rush in the main with a bunch of Reapers. That would be great. A couple of SCVs do go down. There was no turret in the main. There is a scan available. 2 of them, actually. Oh my god. 7 SCVs, 8 SCVs go down. Completely crippling uThermal even further. 8 SCVs brings him under 30. I mean, that just tells us how far behind he now is, and... double gold base has been saturated, or it will be saturated soon, by ShaDoWn. This guy is... going full Jeff Bezos on his ass. Double forge. Triple forge. Yes! ShaDoWn knows how to spend that money. He knows how to have fun. He's a California girl. 5th base underway for ShaDoWn. 2 bases. And there is 6 tanks in the army of uThermal. Which is... I mean, his army supply is 2 higher than ShaDoWn's. You never know. Okay, I want to see the triple upgrade go down. You have infinite chrono boost as well. Do it. Do it. Do it. More gateways going down. He only has 3 gateways right now, so a little low on units. This could get dicey, but this is an all-in move from uThermal once more. Now we have 2 orbitals worth of scans, so this is definitely an improvement of the first game. Somehow, ShaDoWn has a smaller army, but he has a lot more workers. He has 72 workers, and he can just rebuild everything at the gold bases. And this might just be too slow. uThermal slowly but surely chipping away at ShaDoWn's base, but... ShaDoWn is unloading a bunch of DTs and Zealots into his main base. 2 siege tanks actually stayed back to defend this ramp, but 3 Marines are not enough to stop the onslaught of these Dark Templar and Zealots. Micro is being initiated, but it doesn't help. Oh, that Zealot hits hard. Or that's a DT, actually. That's why this Marine just got 1 shot. And this is a very awkward position. Another random base from ShaDoWn is just completely flexing on him. 2 Immortals trying to hold the base for as long as possible. Could warp in some more DTs because he knows there's no more scanning going around for uThermal here, even though he has a bunch of energy. Triple upgrades get started in the face of this uThermal army that is mostly just the 5 tanks. Recalls happening, and that should tip off uThermal that something is up. Because I just killed most of the bases, and this SCV is looking around of what is happening. 41 probes died in these 2 bases that were just killed by uThermal. But if you look at the army supply, ShaDoWn got a couple warping rounds in, and uThermal is a dead man walking. He's flying around. Does he see that? He doesn't see it, but he might find it. Oh, he did find this gold base, though, and he did find this base, and he did find this base. And now he found a big-ass army as well. That does not spell anything good for uThermal, and he GG's out as he realizes that he's going to get absolutely destroyed in a matter of seconds. And just like that, ShaDoWn takes the series 2-1. That was a wacky, fun series. Thank you guys for suggesting it. I hope you enjoyed this little cast. It's a bonus. I'll see you in the next one where we cast a little bit of legendary StarCraft players. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.